Welcome into the Josh Sadler Show. Glad you're joining us on this Friday night. I tell you, another great night of football, and it's the kickoff of season number 2 tonight. Yeah, it's the first game.
Yep, district opens tonight.
So. Man, you ready?
Yeah, the Roos are ready.
Yeah, home. At home. It's nice to be at home, too.
Yes, sir, it is. Well, homecoming action tonight, bringing a lot of Roos back, hopefully. Fill the stands with a bunch of ex-Roos so they can come out and watch us get after Coppers Cove tonight.
Coppers Cove and Killeen, that is always a good ball game going back to when I was a kid. Back and forth in the past early 2000s. But other than that, it's been Killeen's pretty much dominated the series over the years. But different people over there in Coppers Cove now. Got a new coaching staff again, and have a pretty good little team there. Yeah. I think they're 4-1 or undefeated?
They're 3-1. Yeah, they're 3-1. Yeah, Coach Souther's done a good job of coming back in. They're trying to, restore that physicalness that they had back in the early 2000s. When he was there with Coach Welch and everything, and they're doing a good job of getting those kids ready to go. So, it's gonna be a knockdown drag out. It's gonna be one of those old fashioned.
Backyard brawls.
Yeah, it should be. I think it's gonna be a good one. For everybody to enjoy on both sides of the field.
And it's the only game in town in the area. You need to come out to the old Buckley Stadium. Make sure you catch this one because it's about city pride too, brother. It's about city pride. It's about filling those stands with Roos on one side, and those Bulldogs are going to be coming over here. So we got to be ready, and everything.
And they'll fill the stands too, because I watched them do it versus Ellison. They're going to bring their fan faithfuls over here. They're feeling good about what they're doing over there in Coppers Cove. So their fans are traveling with them well, and so it should be a good environment for our kids to play in.
Boy, I tell you, I hate to go back last week, one play.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. It on film, and if you watch the game, everybody thinks it comes down to one play, and it was 4th and 12, and it gave us an opportunity to win right there. But there were opportunities throughout that game to extend the lead, to make different things happen. I don't put it all on that one play. I feel like I could have made a better call, some better calls throughout that game that could have got us in better situations, maybe to get a first down, extend the clock, things like that, to where we're not in that 4th and 12. And then defensive guys will say, well, we should have made a play. And special teams guys will say, well, we shouldn't have a kick blocked in there and things like that. There's all different things. A lot of different things that can happen in a football game, but unfortunately, it comes down to making a play in a moment like that. And their kid made a good play. I can't take anything away from him. The only thing I can say is that we're going to put our feet on the ground and we're going to get after it again this week.
Yeah, you took the top 5 team in the state to the wall. To the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and they had to have a Hail Mary to win it, and they got it. And that's the luck of the draw sometimes. I've been on both sides of that. Unfortunately, it happened in the wrong way for us, on Friday night. But it's one of those things that if you play the game long enough, you're going to be on both sides of it. You're going to see the good and the bad and the ugly of all of it. And what you got to do is you got to regroup, refocus, and you got to go play hard again. Because that's the way life is. You're gonna have some ups, you're gonna have some downs, and my gosh, you better get up and fight again, or else life will kick you when you're down. So
I'm still waiting for a couple more ups.
Well, they're coming.
Yeah, I know.
They're coming.
I know.
They're coming. That's for everybody, and that's for you personally. That's for us personally. That's for everybody. It's coming. You just got to keep your faith in the right spot.
Yeah.
And know that the good man upstairs is taking care of all of us. He's got a plan for every single one of us, and I know that. I know that he has a plan for me. I know he has a plan for our football program. I know he has a plan for these kids. So, the big thing is we keep showing up every day doing his work and making sure we're doing the right things, and we'll be okay.
Yeah, he's keeping me here for some reason. Three or 4 times they tried to go, and he's keeping me here for some reason. So I think this is it, but I really do. But Coppers Cove, I used to work over there, used to live over there, broadcast the clean football while I was living over there. I had to live amongst the fans over there, so I know how they are. Big kids over there. They eat well. They have a good workout program with their strength and conditioning, so they're big fellers. We've got speed. I think we got some advantage on speed on them, and quickness in the line. If we can get up and get after them before those big boys can stand up, you know.
Well, I don't know who has advantage on what. It comes, watching film's hard to see until you get out there and you actually start, thudding heads a little bit, seeing where things go. I know that they're a good football team, both offensively and defensively. We talked about it on the show the other night, about their defense and those defensive ends they have. Everybody wants to talk about their running back, KJ Ziegler, but Ziegler has a cousin that plays defensive end for him, and that dude's got a motor too, and he flat run and gets after it. And they've got another defensive end who's another good, long, rangy kid who has a good motor and gets up the field and, pass rushes really well. Interior line-wise, they clog up the run and help that Mike backer, their 4-3 scheme, and help that Mike backer free him up to run from tackle to tackle. So, they do a real good job with their front. Their secondary's made a lot of plays. They got several picks this year because of how they disguise coverages and things like that, and so we're going to have our hands full, offensively when it comes to their defense and what they do. But then you flip it around on the offensive side, and, I think one of the main things that Coach Southern talked about when he came back was, restoring that physicality, that physical presence with Copperas Cove football to back what it used to be or what they felt like it used to be back in the early 2000s. And, when I watch them play, I've seen them 2 or 3 times now, and then I've seen a lot of film of them. They're trying to run the football first, and they're trying to be very physical up front, and their 5 offensive linemen are pretty daggum good. They got one kiddo over there, and it's hard for me to pronounce his name, so I don't want to butcher it on the air, but his brother plays at Georgia.
Is it Uni?
Uni, it's Uni or Uni. I can't. And again, I butcher it, and I apologize, son, for that if I mess it up. But I know he's a good football player, and he's a very physical football player, and he gets after it. And the 4 guys with him match his intensity, match his physicality. So that's going to be a good match for our defensive line. Those guys, they get after it. And they're impressive to watch. And again, I've watched them in person 2 or 3 times and then see them on film. There's no difference. But they're trying to establish a physical line of scrimmage and do a good job of it. And the guy behind them, KJ Ziegler, he's a physical back. He probably weighs about 200 pounds. He gets downhill in a hurry, and when he hits a crease, he hits it with everything he's got. He's a good running back. He had over 200 yards rushing against us last year as a sophomore, and he's back as a junior. So, we got our hands full. And, they got a couple of good young receivers over there, young quarterback that's throwing it well. So, we're going to have to come out and play good football. They're doing the things that they want to do or they said they wanted to do now since they've come in here with Coach Southern and his staff. And we're going to have to go, give them everything we got and hopefully we can come out with a dub in this one.
Well, I think those boys will be ready to finish last week's game on Friday night. So I think they're chomping at the bit to get out there on the field and show what Kangaroos are.
I think we're ready to take the next step. We've hit it in kind of phases, and our kids have had to learn some tough things through these phases. Specifically the last 3 games, the finish piece, because the last 3 games, we've been right there. 19-14 with Ellison, had the ball, had a chance to go down and score, missed a receiver down the field. They could have possibly won the game for us. And then against Lake Belton, we had our chances there. We were down 7 and had the football with some open receivers and things like that. And then, of course, the other night against Brenham, the opportunity, with 4th and 12 right there when you're up, and their guy just made a play. So now it's about we're putting ourselves in that situation to win. Now it's about going out and finishing the job. And so a lot of what we've worked on this week has been about finishing the job. Yeah. And so, hopefully we can go out there Friday night and get that job finished.
Well, thanks for coming out Tuesday and being on the show. And
absolutely.
Had a great time just talking football, talking Killeen football, talking all kinds of stuff.
No doubt.
Always a good show.
It is a good show. It's a good time. It's a good chance for us to, just talk about everybody and everything. And hopefully, we talk about enough of the great things of Killeen football. Again, I'm 4 years in, I'm learning too. I always learn more about Killeen football and the tradition that's here. And, hopefully we touch on a lot of those things and we can make those Kangaroos proud, of what we're doing and how we're doing it. So, homecoming again this week. Hopefully we can get out there. We can pack the stands with some X-Roos and then we can give them something to smile about at the end of the day.
Well, okay, get ready, If I have to call animal control or whatever, we'll do it. But get after them Bulldogs, baby.
We'll do.
As an Ellison Eagle and a Killeenite, go get them Bulldogs.
We're gonna get after them, yes, sir. That's the whole thought process is to get out there and get after the Bulldogs and give them everything we got, and to renew that storied rivalry between the old Bulldogs and the Roos, and hopefully we can get ourselves in that position to come out with a dub.
Thanks for your time, brother.
Thank you so much, Dan. Appreciate everything you do, and as always, go Roos.
This has been an I-14 Sports Network production, bringing the heat from the heart of Central Texas.